Hey guys, what's up? MTG Ornithopter here, coming to you with a deck tech video. This is the deck that I'm currently using at Friday Night Magic, an Esper control, because I like being able to use, um, more than just four, fetch lands. Also because it's got a little bit of, uh, it's got blue, of course, for the counter spells, but it also has black for creature removal and the white for Elspeth, because Elspeth is a great control card, as that you all may know. I've got a glare there, so apologize for that, but I'll go ahead and go into the deck. We have four of each scry lands because scrying is really good with control. It's really good with any deck, but especially with control, setting up your draws. Also, being that it's double lands, two lands. Two mana, two colors. Sorry. But yeah, that's also good. Um, Next we have our fetch lands. We have four polluted delta because we need more double blue and double black than we do double white. So that's why we only have three flooded strand, and then one Urborg to help also get with the double black. But it's also really good if you're playing black and other colors, just so helps your mana fixing. Our win cons in this deck, we have three Ashiok, three Elspeth, and one Prognostic Sphinx. I'm not a fan of Prognostic Sphinx. I see her, she's only really good because she's in the deck because I needed another win con that was hard to deal with spot removal. So I have her in here, or him, or it, so that just as another win con. Elspeth's really good in any white deck. She's the reason I went Esper. And Ashiok is a great threat that you can get out early game that if not dealt with immediately, you can just stomp. Especially against um, Abzan. To every card that Abzan plays is really good. So if you exile any of their cards, you're bound to get a good card. Um, Now on to the draw spells and keeping your hand full. If you ask any control player, he will agree that keeping your hand full is a must-have with control. If you have an empty hand and control, you just feel vulnerable and you feel like you're not doing something right. So we have four Dig Through Time because Dig Through Time is great, not as great as Sphinx's Rev because you don't have the life gain, but it's really great, and two Divination. Only two Divination because I saw that on my turn 3, I want to leave my mana open to counter spells versus draw into counter spells or draw into anything. I just want to be able to counter their early threats such as Goblin Rabble Masters, or if they were on the play, then that means that they're hitting their turn 4, hitting Sorin, and numerous other 4-drop spells that this deck this deck is very bad against quick decks such as the Jeskai Tokens deck. So um we have a sideboard around the quicker mono red kind of decks. But yeah, so those were the draw spells. Counter spells for the control feel. We have 4 Dissolve because Dissolve is probably the best counter spell. It counters anything that can be countered, of course, but it also sets up a scry so that your next turn you get to see what you're going to draw. Disdainful Stroke has a 1 of because um, you just need you kind of need more counter spells in this, and we've lost Syncopate. So Disdainful Stroke is good because a lot of the late game spells that you're worried about are 4 mana or more. Next, we have our removal. We have Spot Removal, which is Hero's Downfall, probably the best removal spell in Standard right now. 4 of, and then a Murderous Cut as a 1 of because it has the ability to be destroy target creature for only 1 mana. and typically we will have the 4 cards in our grave to delve and make it past 1 mana. But we only have one because, again, we'd rather dig through time than we would Murderous Cut. Bioblight against tokens or any deck that has 3 or less. I saw Fleece Mane. Fleece Mane Lion is a big creature that we don't like to see against this deck. Because Fleece Mane Lion is really hard to take care of. So that he's an Abzan. So hopefully we get rid of him early. Then board wipes, we have In Hostilities. It's not Supreme Verdict, but it's the best thing we got. It's much better than the black one that says destroy creatures you don't control and planeswalkers you don't control. So 3 of those, because only 3, not 4, because I see that when I have it in hand, most of the times I'm not really needing to cast it, and I don't feel the urge to cast it. So yeah, so just 3 of, because 4 of you don't want to see more than 2 in your hand at a time. Utter End is a kind of a removal for anything, and it's really good. It's better than Banishing Light in my opinion, because the only way to take care of this is to counter it or give your thing hexproof or pro whatever color. So 2 of those, because you may need more, but 2, I've never had a problem with just running 2. And then 4, Thoughtseize, just because Thoughtseize is really great, especially taking out threats turn 1. I mean, if I have a Thoughtseize in hand and I have a way to play a swamp untapped turn 1, that's always what I do. Get rid of whatever biggest threats they have, and then also being able to know what they have in hand so you know what to counter. So that's main board. Sideboard is, I'll do that real quick. Sorry. Didn't have enough room to put both main and side on screen, so put that to the side. Our sideboard, we have 2 Negates, 2 Disdainful Strokes, 3 Drown in Sorrow, 1 Resolute Archangel, 2 Erase, 2 Last Breath, and 3 Nyx Fleece Ram. This, to try and show you what I've got here, against the aggro quick decks, I bring in all my Drown in Sorrows, my Nyx Fleece Rams, and my Last Breaths. I'm not worried about them gaining life if it's getting rid of their Goblin Rabble Masters, their Monastery Swift Spears, and such. I also bring in Resolute Archangel because if you can stabilize and get to her, it resets the game, and by this time, if you are at 7 mana, they probably have run out of the gas to get you and beat you. So, those are what you bring in most of the time against, well, all the time against aggro decks. For the combo decks, we bring in 2 Erase, 2 Negates. This is the Jeskai token. This is what I would sideboard in for the Jeskai token deck. You really don't want to let them keep their Jeskai Ascendancy out. Because that is basically a win con for them, and also anytime you chance you get, wipe the board. Their tokens in Stoke the Flame are really good, especially if Ascendancy is out. Against a control matchup, we play 2 Disdainful Stroke, 2 Negates, and 1 Resolute Archangel. The Resolute Archangel is only in there as another aggro kind of spell, because in control, that's kind of what beats you, what gets you. Negates and Disdainful Strokes, obviously, to counter their counter spells or their dig through time, stuff like that. Everything else is pretty obvious what you can side in for. If they're playing enchantments, bring in erases or negates. But yeah, so that's the deck. I'm pretty happy with what it does. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below, but don't forget to subscribe and also like. Appreciate it and have a great day.